Hey, this is Ryan giving an update on our hurricane situation in Puerto Rico and the aftermath and everything that's gone on in the islands. We are blessed to know a lot of people here because we did a lot of boating when we were in St. Thomas. We met boating families and homeschoolers, and we got close to a few of them. We were there for such a short time that we didn't really form really tight relationships with a lot of them. But in passing, we knew these people, and we still talked to several of them. And as far as I understand it, and information is still trickling in from St. Thomas because they got hit so hard. St. John, St. Croix, the Leeward Islands, Culebra, a lot of these outlying islands here, Isla Verde and whatnot, all got hit hard by the hurricane and knocked out a lot of their services, their cell phone towers and everything. And so anyway, what news we have is that I believe it's 3 people lost their life in St. Thomas, St. John, in the USVI. One of them was a homeschool friend, and I'm not at liberty to give names, and I don't really feel like I have enough information yet anyway, but we hear that a 15-year-old boy was trying to save his siblings, and he ended up dying, drowning, or getting killed somehow. And like I said, the information just isn't real clear yet, and I don't know exactly what had happened. We learned that a lot of these families that are boating families lost everything, lost their boats. All but the one that we knew lost their life. Kept their lives at least. The one boy, the 15-year-old boy, lost his life, but as far as I know, everybody else is in good health. But a couple of boats sank that we knew. The families working on options to help them right now, and we're hoping that other people will pitch in some of these relief funds for St. Thomas, St. John, Barbuda, obviously, Antigua. A lot of these smaller islands that were right in the eye of the hurricane got wiped out. Just 90% of their islands gone. Their infrastructure, their homes, everything just got flattened. And anyway, I just got a call from a friend of mine, and it just helped me reflect on how blessed we are to be here. He knew me as I was just at the end of my homeless phase, and as I was a teenager, and I was getting good work. I got a job with Microsoft, and I was getting on my feet, going to college, and he helped me out. He gave me a car. Was a nice guy, just such a sweetheart. Never met me in person, but offered to help, gave me a car. And a lot of people came into my life, people that were Mormon that I didn't agree with, that I was, leaving Mormonism for Christianity at the time. I really never was a Mormon. My family were Mormons, but I was just, coming to Christ in a non-religious way. And I was blessed even by Mormons and people that just kind of helped me in my hardest times, and the most difficult phase of transitioning from being homeless and unaccountable and not having responsibilities and not knowing how to manage life very well, to moving on to a life that was valuable and responsible and rewarding. Oh, my eyebrows look awfully big. I don't know why. Probably because it's in the dark. Anyway, I was blessed to talk to him. It's been a long time since I've seen his face, person to person. And anyway, I have to thank him, and he inspired me. So, in times like this, it really, I draw on those moments where I felt like so blessed to be alive, just to know that God cared. and that he expressed his love through someone that, believed in him and loved him and wanted to do right by their Christian faith. And so yeah, we are working on it. We're trying to help people with what little resources we've got, and with what little access we have. I mean, I haven't even been down to see my boat. I've got a boat in the marina about 40 miles away, and right now we're just kind of in a phase that we're waiting on some money to come in, and we've been working on some sales and stuff. My wife's got a little business, and so we're trying to conserve money, gas money, food money, whatever, just in case this is an extended period where we don't have food, or not food, but water and electricity and other opportunities for making money. So we're trying to hold on to our resources, but eventually I'll go down to see the boat, see what it's doing, and we may find her a new home because of this storm. What has happened is opening up some doors for us to be able to possibly help some people. So that's in the works right now, and I just hope other people are inspired to help those in Florida. We have friends there. They got wiped out pretty good, not nearly as badly as these islands, and nobody that I know of so far has lost their life in Florida. I've been trying to keep up with it. I don't know a lot of what's going on out there, but we'll see as it progresses and as we get more information. And as you can see right now, I'm in my car. We have no electricity or water or anything, barely have cell phone signals, so I'm just doing what I can in my car right now. I'm doing some blogging. All my stuff's a little controversial. I just say how I see it, and some people see what I say as borderline racist, as borderline conservative, as borderline Trump supporting, as borderline or whatever. It doesn't agree with what they say, fine, whatever. I'll tell you right now, as far as race is concerned, the best place I've ever lived in my life is here in Puerto Rico, where race doesn't matter. I comment on what goes on in the U.S. because I think that the powers that be, maybe people like George Soros, maybe what's that guy, Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch, these people that pull the strings in society a little bit with their money and with their influence, I think they pit us against each other, pit the population, in ways that are, based on social justice or race or whatever. And so I comment on it. And I believe that, the white nationalists are all messed up. They've got a skewed view. I believe the Black Lives Matter, the Black Panther Party, they're all skewed. They've got all these polarized opinions. And I try to make sense of it. I try to post on those things. But comparing it from the outside looking in, comparing it from Puerto Rico, where race just doesn't matter. Nobody even considers it here. I mean, literally, it is such a low priority and a low issue, a low value issue. People don't value race. It's, there's so many different mixes and so many different varieties here that it's impossible to have racism. It just can't exist, and it's wonderful that way. And seeing how messed up and polarized it is in other places, it gives you a little more perspective. So I comment on those things. Something that I've seen recently with like Roger Stone, I think the guy's probably a prick. He's got some narcissistic agenda to inflate his, popularity or his influence or whatever. I'm reading about him right now, actually. Apparently he's going to be getting a show on Alex Jones, and I don't know, he's still working on his causes and legalizing cannabis, which I'm all in favor of. But I see like liberal people progressives, liberals, Democrats, whatever you want to call them, trying to segregate themselves and isolate themselves from conservative people, and putting themselves in this little corner of, okay, liberals only. We can't have anybody else helping us because we don't want to have conservatives. And, they miss 50% of the voting public. They miss that, and I think that part of, the population is necessary to make positive and effective change. And the divisions and the polarization and the, fighting and infighting, it's just so I don't know, useless, that I get frustrated, I get mad, and I lash out a little bit, and I try not to, but I do, and I'm embarrassed of it. I don't feel great about, you know, giving somebody a verbal tongue lashing, you know, but sometimes I let my emotions loose, and I do say things, and I don't know. I guess it's good to be removed slightly from the situation now, because, you know, I write less about those things and I write more about the positive things that we see on our journeys. You know, I think we've seen like 8 countries this year. We're broke as a joke. We don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of things, but we have got a lot of family experiences, and we've been so blessed. And I love seeing it from an outside looking in point of view, more so than being in the mix of it all and all that crazy chaos out there in the States. Anyway, pray for those people out there. I'm going to wrap this up. So many people got trashed in that hurricane, and let's try to help those people stand up and brush this off and move forward with some comfort and some love and some peace. Anyway, thanks for checking us out at Clovis Star Media, clovistar.com. You can also check us out at xcannabis.net. This is Ryan checking out. Peace.